The first date I had with Warren, he took me to Sunday school at Sunset Gap. And it was Christmas. And they had everybody a gift. The regulars they was used to. Of course, I was a new person. So Duran Williams was done the thrift shop then. So she went somewhere, and a little bit she come back, and this little wrapped package, it was for me. It had a red leather wallet, and I'd never had a wallet, and a brush and a comb, and I thought I was rich. I'd never had a wallet or a brush and a comb, but it was really, really good, and we come every Sunday we could, and my kids went to Sunday school down there too. We had a good Sunday school. And Grandpa and Grandma and all of them was there, and they just become my family.
So when Dad was the director of Sunset Gap, one of the hats he wore was the minister of our church and Sunday school at Sunset Gap. We used to love Sunday mornings when all the local friends and families would come in for our Sunday school service. We had a bell that we would ring at Sunset Gap to let everyone know in the community that church was just getting ready to start. And so we would go in, we would sing the old traditional hymns. We had a wonderful piano player, and we would do that, maybe 6 or 7 songs, and then we would divide up into age group for Sunday school classes. One of my mentors, Duran Williams, was our Sunday school leader, and he would help us with our understanding. But we really appreciated that, and as we look back on it, it was powerful.
From the first day we got there, we knew there was to be Sunday school. We were from St. Louis more recently, and Chicago before that, where there always was Sunday school. We knew what Sunday school was, but the people gathered a half an hour before 9 o'clock, which was the scheduled time. This was a community event for the people of Sunset Gap who chose to come to Sunday school. It meant a lot to the people. One day, Walt Williams came up from his cabin down the road carrying a gunny sack over his shoulder. And we, of course, wondered what could be in it, but it turned out to be a live chicken. It was early in our history there, and so this was a test to see if the Davises could handle a live chicken and eat it for a meal. I had grown up with my grandfather's and his wife, my grandmother, being on the farm near Sioux City, Iowa, and I'd seen my grandmother take a chicken and wring its neck like that. So I figured we could handle it. So Bob said, I'll cut the head off if you will pluck it and cook it, clean and cook it. So that's what we did. But before we did that, we put it in the utility room at the house and kind of forgot about it, because the next time I went into the utility room, maybe to do a washing, there was this chicken looking up with this one little beady eye, and we dealt with it soon after that. And it was tasty.
Oh, we loved that Sunday school. We loved it. Everybody, even the older people loved to go to Sunday school. A lot of people had to work and they didn't go very much. When you're on a farm, you don't get much spare time. You're busy working.
We also had Sunday school up here. We would, walk on Sunday morning never did have church, no preachers, just Sunday school singing, have big crowds come.
Sunday school was led by the Reverend Robert Davis. He was our director at the time. We had Sunday school up there till about 1980. Most of the people that went up there had to work at Gatlinburg, and you had to work on Sunday.
Well, like I say, Sunday school started out in that big room, and it's kind of if you've been in the auditorium there, it's cavernous. So we always had a piano player and had a message, and we sang songs, passed the plate, and took up the offering. Then after the dynamiting of the chimney, we moved over into the smaller room where the piano sounded a lot louder. Mary Webb was piano player, was there, and Kaye could play too, but Daddy called her Mary Estelle. That was her name, Mary Estelle Bradshaw. And I went to school with her children, but Mary was a beautiful piano player. And but Sunday school lasted an hour. We'd get there, they'd do announcements and community information. We'd sing several songs, not just 2 or 3. We'd sing 6 or 7 songs, a lot of the favorites week after week. And at that time, Daddy would teach Sunday school, and Bob taught if Daddy wasn't feeling well, and sometimes Bob would teach a lesson too. But they'd read the questions, and people commented on the lesson of the week. So it was real neat. And I remember one time, Daddy stood up in the pew there, and I stood up beside him, and a guy behind him who didn't come that much, but he tapped Daddy on the shoulder and didn't say that and pointed down Daddy's wallet that fell out of his pocket. And Daddy picked it up and thanked him. But it was kind of neat, you know. It wasn't just it was bigger crowds, I think, in the mid '60s than it was in the mid '70s. But we still had good numbers there in the high teens or early lower 20s. Then, but it was a time to fellowship. And like I say, Grandma and Grandpa walked to Sunday school about every Sunday, and Grandpa wore overalls 6 days a week. Most time on Sunday, though, he had some pants and a shirt. And he had his shirt buttoned all the way to the top. It doesn't matter what season it was. He had a long sleeve shirt on. I never saw Grandpa with a short sleeve shirt. And Grandpa Walt, he's actually my great uncle. He walked to Sunday school. That big old felt brimmed hat. And but they'd walk and they'd sit there. And I don't remember Grandpa and Ward or great uncle Walt singing any. But Grandma would then at Christmas time to bring a lot of stuff into this. Boy Scouts would go out and cut greenery. We'd go out and cut a bunch of cedars and holly and bring back. And we'd decorate the building. We'd put cedar boughs all the way up both railings on the Sevier County side and the Cott County side. And we'd set up a tree in every room. And then Sunday school, that was on a Saturday. And then in Sunday school, everybody that's Sunday school would go decorate the rooms. They'd decorate the trees. And sometimes we'd do some popcorn and cranberries on thread and put it on there. And then they had the old tinsel that they'd put on there and some lights. And they'd always have a big Christmas program sometime after that. So it was really neat to get to how Sunday school helped during that holiday. And at Easter, the director would always buy peace lilies, I guess you call them, Easter lilies, white ones, and he'd decorate the little Sunday school room with them, and everybody got to take one of those home that day and enjoy it for a week or two, and then plant it and see it come up again. So just really neat, the singing, the fellowship, patting on the back, hugging, shaking hands, all kind of things, and just seeing the different people come there.